When the battlefield seemed to tilt in Russia's favor, and their commanders were already celebrating what they believed was a decisive push forward, something happened that shattered their illusion of victory. A roar in the sky cut through the clouds like a knife, and within seconds, the front line lit up with fire. Ukraine's newly arrived F-16s, silent until the very last moment, unleashed a wave of precision strikes that flipped the momentum overnight. Hello everyone, welcome back to the Frontline Report channel. Please subscribe and like my videos because today's analysis breaks down how the Russian military thought they had control until Ukraine deployed F-16s in a way that changed the entire geometry of the war. What seemed like a slow, grinding battle suddenly became a high-intensity air campaign that blindsided Russian ground units, air defenses, and supply routes. To understand the scale of the shock, imagine the exterior view of the F-16 slicing through the cold air over Ukraine's sleek, razor-sharp wings reflecting the rising sun, carrying advanced missiles that Russia never expected to see deployed this deep into the conflict. The shape of the aircraft itself, forged through decades of technological refinement, is a symbol of speed, accuracy, and air dominance. Ukrainian pilots stepping out in reinforced flight suits, with hardened expressions and steady movements, redefined what the front line looked like in a matter of hours. The exterior hardware of these jets alone sent signals across Russian military channels, creating panic as radar operators scrambled to understand how the Ukrainian Air Force suddenly evolved in capability. Inside the cockpit, the interior of the F-16 is comparably small but packed with lethal intelligence. Multi-function displays, holographic HUD readings, seamless integration with Western missile systems, and ergonomic controls give Ukrainian pilots a level of situational awareness they never had with older Soviet aircraft. Everything is designed for maximum focus, minimal distractions, maximum precision. With the support of NATO-trained instructors, the interior environment became a war-winning nerve center where a single pilot can monitor dozens of threats, target multiple positions, and coordinate with drones and intelligence units simultaneously. It is short, compact, efficient, and terrifyingly effective. The performance of these jets instantly changed Russia's military calculus. The F-16 stormed into contested airspace at speeds exceeding Mach 2, diving low to avoid radar, and then rising sharply to release standoff munitions from beyond the range of Russian air defenses. With powerful afterburners that vibrate through the ground like thunder, the jets carried AIM-120 AMRAAMs capable of striking Russian aircraft far before they could get close. Russian fighter pilots who once operated with near-complete confidence suddenly faced opponents who could hit them before their radars even completed a lock. Russian commanders monitoring the skies witnessed something they had not seen since the beginning of the war, their aircraft retreating, their air defenses firing wildly, their communication lines collapsing as precision missiles punched holes in their front line and supply convoys. Safety systems in the F-16 also contributed heavily to its battlefield resilience. The aircraft's advanced threat, warning receivers, automatic countermeasure deployment, electronic warfare shielding, and missile-evading agility gave Ukrainian pilots far greater survival rates. Even when Russian S-300 and S-400 batteries fired volleys of missiles, the F-16s used terrain masking, flares, jamming pods, and evasive maneuvers to survive strikes that would have downed older MiG-29s instantly. The cockpit pressure systems, reinforced canopy, and ejection technology added layers of survivability that turned every sortie into a well-protected mission instead of a desperate gamble. But the real unique selling point of the F-16 wasn't just its weapons, it was the ecosystem around it. Integration with NATO satellites meant pilots had full situational awareness before even taking off. Real-time intelligence synced between drones, artillery units, and ground forces allowed pinpoint strikes that looked almost choreographed. Combined with long-range missiles like the JASSM and Precision, guided bombs that can glide for miles, the jets became surgical instruments capable of dismantling Russian supply hubs, command posts, troop concentrations, and fuel depots. Russia thought they had time. They thought Ukraine would never get such capabilities fast enough to matter, but once the jets took off, the entire front line shifted under Moscow's feet. Russia expected Ukraine to receive only small numbers of jets. But what they did not anticipate was the price-to-impact ratio. The cost of operating an F-16, while high, is drastically lower than the damage it can inflict on Russian equipment, worth billions. For every missile the F-16 fires, Russia loses 10 times the value in destroyed systems, vehicles, or infrastructure. The strategic cost to Russia became overwhelming, and every day of F-16 operations strained their logistics further. This economic blow was one of the reasons Russia's command structure spiraled into panic. As the days went on, Russian soldiers reported seeing the jets as omens appearing without warning, destroying targets with chilling efficiency, and vanishing before counter-fire could reach them. Their presence demoralized entire battalions, forcing Russian units to retreat from positions they had captured only days earlier. Videos circulated of Russian troops abandoning armored vehicles, hiding in improvised shelters, or radioing desperate calls for backup that never arrived. Ukraine's Air Force, once considered outdated, became the spear point that pierced deep into Russian defenses. In the final hours of the first F-16 offensive wave, the battlefield glowed with burning vehicles, shattered ammunition depots, destroyed radar installations, and fractured Russian supply lines. Ukraine's strategy had been executed perfectly, to hit fast, hit hard, and hit where Russia least expected it. And as the smoke cleared, a new reality emerged. Russia was no longer the hunter in the sky. It was the hunted. The shift in air dominance reshaped the entire war, proving that once Ukraine received the tools it needed, the battlefront was never going to look the same again. This was not just an air strike. It was a statement, a demonstration that modern air power, when properly deployed, can overturn an entire war narrative in a single night. Ukraine's F-16s did not just unleash missiles, they unleashed fear, uncertainty, and a new strategic environment where Russia's outdated systems could no longer keep pace. The implications of this will echo through the conflict for months to come. This is the moment Russia realized they were not winning. They were losing to technology, coordination, and the unbreakable spirit of a nation fighting for survival. Thank you for watching, and make sure to like and subscribe for more updates from Frontline Report.